French people love wine. Fermented grape juice is woven into the culture of France, like enjoying a fine red over a 5-hour lunch, kissing everyone on the face, and using a machine to behead people. Some point to the benefits of enjoying a glass of Côte d'Aron alongside your meal. Wine can enhance the flavor of bland foods while also loosening your tongue, so you can tell that chef what you really think of their so-called pasta. Experts have also said that a glass of red wine contains antioxidants that are good for your heart. Though as the Mayo Clinic notes, some studies into this need more research. I'll get right on that. Now, back in 2019, the country's health agency launched a national campaign urging citizens of France to limit wine consumption to just 2 glasses a day. And earlier this year, the World Health Organization put out a statement reading, "No level of alcohol consumption is safe for our health. The less you drink, the safer you are," says the WHO's literal buzzkills. So much for that research. Anyway, one great way to drink less wine is to make less of it. And one great way to make less wine is to warm the planet so you can't make it anymore.
It's totally a bummer for me because I love pinot noir. It's my favorite varietal, it's delicate, it's different aromas, the evolution through age is amazing, but we cannot fight against nature.
That's a winemaker at Château de Pomard in France, a vineyard that's been making the stuff since 1726. But because of our changing climate, Pinot Noir grapes may eventually become unsuitable for growth in the Burgundy region, where this vineyard is.
We need to adapt. We probably need to change the varietals, the grape variety here, because not every year, but some year, you got really ripe Pinot Noir, and it's not the way how it should be the Pinot Noir. And probably Pinot Noir need to go far more north. We need to plant it over there where it's more climate. And we need to start to plant probably other things.
Experts say temperatures in the region have gone up an average of 1 degree Celsius since 1987, and the growing season is shifting dramatically. Harvests that used to be ready in September are arriving as early as August now.
We can really see the effect of the climate change. The main one we can say is the spring frost, because now the winter are quite warm, they are not cold enough, and the bud break, the moment of the buds start to grow, occurs sooner as before, at a period, early April, where there are some frosts. It's difficult to deal with that.
That's the vineyard manager of Château de Pomard, who notes that intense summer storms are really watering down their bottles.
We always had some storm here in Burgundy. It's something usual during the summer, but now the frequency of the storm and the intensity is completely different. We have a lot of storm and very, very intense. That's why we can say the climate is changing here too. You can lose all your production in only one night. So we have some workaround solution to find, but it's very tough.
One workaround they're trying? Leaving leaves unpruned to help cool down the soil.
The first one we can do on a vineyard like this is to work on the height of the leaves. The more height you have, the more shadow you have, and will protect the leaves. We are trying to keep a lot of leaves at the grapes level. We are trying to keep some weeds on the soil to avoid that the temperature of the soil get too high.
But lengthy leaves might not be enough to keep your sommelier busy for the foreseeable future, which is why the technical director at Burgundy's wine board says they've launched 30 different research projects into combating climate change, including grape modification.
We also are creating new varieties, which is a cross between Pinot or Chardonnay and resistant variety, resistant to powdery mildew and downy mildew. And now I have my team is in the cellar right now because we are vinifying more than 300 new varieties. So maybe one of them or several of them carries the future of Bourgogne.
Of course, changes to our climate aren't just impacting one country called France. They're affecting vineyards, wineries, and bottles in a sack from Burgundy to California. But one locale that's turning lemons into lemonade, or I guess for a metaphor, grapes into wine makes much more sense because the story is about wine and it also pairs better with a steak than lemonade, is Sweden. Yes, IKEA meatball Ingmar Bergman, Sweden. You're looking at the Thora Vineyard on Sweden's southern coast. Sweden's only got about 370 acres worth of vineyards in the country, a spit in the wine bucket compared to the millions of acres in Italy and France, but a warmer Swedish climate is affording a grape opportunity for winemakers there. Swedish government data finds that temperatures have raised 2 degrees Celsius over the past 30 years, and growing seasons are now 20 days longer. This academic from the Swedish University of Agriculture has been following Sweden's wine industry for the past 2 decades.
A grape needs around 100 days from flowering to maturing, and that has not been above 10 centigrades, and you haven't had that before, and you have it now, and that is of course a real change. But people haven't realized that but they are slowly starting to realize that they can grow other things than just wheat here.
At Sweden's 4th largest vineyard, the winemaker who runs the place says he's making major investments in the future of the industry and doubling down on sustainability.
We want that this house and this production is going to be for the future. Swedish wood, solar panels on the roof, and we use our own spring water to clean off in here.
He says that the success of Sweden's ascendant wine movement is due to 3 things.
You have the grapes. They didn't exist 100 years ago. They were established in the 60s, 70s and 80s. And the climate, it's improved for Swedish viticulture. And third, you also have this generational shift where the young, competent talent, they want to do something that's actually meaningful, and this is the frontier.
Since extreme heat causes grapes to ripen faster, the winemaker notes that the climate is really affecting where great wines are being produced now.
So one of the best vintages for Champagne the last 100 years was 1996. And from a climate perspective, that would be 2021 in Sweden. So it's really going our way.
That's not to say it's time now to trade your Syrahs for your Stockholms. But as this customer of a Swedish winery can attest, finding new and interesting ways of adapting to a changing climate is now a necessary evil.
The word is bittersweet, the development that we see right now. So I think we need to also, as consumers, choose sustainable produced wine and food in general. In my opinion, choose organic. So we move our hands to the shelf to sustainable alternatives like these wines.
Now, getting drunk may be one way to endure our planet's rising temperatures, but entrepreneurs in Japan are looking to cope with a warmer world, not with wine, but with technology. You are looking at Tokyo's Extreme Heat Countermeasures Expo, held earlier this summer, where exhibitors showed off a wide range of possibilities to make you look, if not feel, cool, like this one-piece dress with a fan built into it. No ice cube appears to be unturned at the Expo. From neck coolers to air conditioning backpacks to this delectable chilled slurry in order to withstand Earth's rising temperatures. As for me, I prefer to keep cool the old-fashioned way. Listening to Dave Matthews Band. Finally, if you were having a bad day today, I want to make you feel a bit better. Here's a photo just released by Michigan State Police. This officer is standing in an outhouse where cops were sent in response to a nature call. The officer is looking down because he's speaking to a woman who fell into the outhouse toilet near a lake on Wednesday. She had dropped her Apple Watch into the pot, went inside of the toilet to get it back, and got trapped in there. People heard her yelling, and after police arrived, they removed the toilet and pulled the woman out. As noted by the Associated Press, the police did not say if the woman was injured or if the watch was recovered. One of my favorite features of my Apple Watch is the watch strap, which keeps it on my arm to prevent it from falling into a filthy outhouse toilet. But maybe I have a new model or something.